What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Horizon Home Theater. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Now today we're going to get into something a little bit different than what we normally do. We're going to get into something that's actually going to help you improve your home theater experience. It's drastically made a change in mine. We're going to get into it right after the intro. Alright guys, we're back and I want to talk about this device that I picked up the other day that has really improved my internet capabilities within my home. Now, I subscribe to Comcast for my internet and I have the gig speed internet. I have their Wi-Fi router, which it does an okay job. It doesn't do the best job, but then I also purchased one of the Euro mesh wireless routers, and that does a better job than Comcast router. But overall, nothing is ever going to compare to you hardwiring through Ethernet your internet. You know, the pro gamers and even avid gamers or novice gamers actually hardwire all of their devices so that they can get the fastest internet speeds, the lowest latency speeds that they can get to be able to perform better than a lot of people that are actually using Wi-Fi. So my main reason for picking this device up is so that I can actually rip or back up my movies and send them directly to my Zappiti. Now, before I purchased this device, I was just using Wi-Fi from the Zappiti, and I would remove the hard drive and I'd put it into a docking station, and then I would rip the file and put it onto there, take it back out, and then put it back into the Zappiti. Eventually that's going to wear the contacts out on the drive, and I definitely don't want to do that because the drives that I'm using are 16 terabytes and they're not cheap. They're anywhere from $300 to $400 or so. Some of them are up to $500. And you know, I have two of them in the Zappiti Pro 4K. So right now I'm running 32 terabytes in that Zappiti, along with using USB 3 ports from external drives. And I don't want to have to pull those drives out and ruin those contacts, or even take a chance of dropping one of those drives and damaging it. So what I did was I went out and I purchased this ActionTec, I'm calling it an Ethernet extender, but basically it's Ethernet, it's hardwired internet. And what this particular device does is it hooks up to your coaxial cable, and then from your router, it sends the signal through the coaxial cable to anywhere in your house that you have coaxial cable hooked up. Now in my house, I could not do any additional hardwiring because I live in a block house. So I would have to drill through the block, more than likely take the Ethernet cable outside, wrap it in conduit, and then come back into the other side of the house, which I definitely did not want to do. I don't want my house looking bad with all the conduit or wires wrapped around the house. So the next best thing was to purchase this ActionTec. Now there's two different types of devices. One of them will actually plug into your receptacle, your electrical receptacle. And what that does is it will send your signal to all the power lines. Now you have to be very careful with that because you have to be on the same side of the panel, meaning that if you open your breaker box up and you have breakers on one side and then you have breakers on the other side, if you hook up the ActionTec to the right side, but where your secondary device is on the right side of the panel, meaning like your living room is here, but your bedrooms are over here, and you're trying to send something from your living room to your bedroom, it's not going to work because those two sides of the panels do not connect together. So with the cable or RG6 version, all your cable, as long as you have all your cable outlets hooked up to your splitters, it'll work perfectly for you, and that's exactly what it's done for me. All right, guys, as you can see, I brought you in here to my smart panel. It's actually in my laundry room, and this is where the cable comes in. This is where I have the alarm system, the telephone, everything else comes in. As you can see, right here is the ActionTec device that I hooked up, and above that is a switch. Now, up here on this shelf is where I have my cable modem to broadcast Wi-Fi along with a mesh Wi-Fi device. So what I did was I took the Ethernet cord from the cable modem, I ran it into the mesh device, and then there's an actual export for Ethernet on that mesh device. And I took that and then I ran it directly into the switch. And then from the switch, I ran an Ethernet cord to the ActionTec device. I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's back there behind a couple wires back there. And then from there, I took a splitter and ran it from the main splitter, and then I created another splitter, and then that allowed me to have one extra line to hook into the ActionTec device, into this splitter over here. Now, the other thing that I must mention to you is on your main line that comes in, there is a stop filter that you must put in, and that's what this device is here. So what your ActionTec device does is it broadcasts internet across all of coaxial. So if you don't have that stop device in there, it allows for this ActionTec to backfeed all of the cable lines with your internet. So you don't want to just be supplying internet to everybody. So you pick up this filter, I think it was like $5.99. It's a stop filter. That way it does not allow any other ActionTec devices to pick up off of your internet. So make sure you pick up one of those. Those are very important. All right, so I hope that's helpful for you guys. I know that looks like a jumbled mess, but if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below and I'll try to help you out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a speed test from my desktop computer that I have in my office, showing that I'm pulling less speeds than what I'm actually pulling in my living room where I have the ActionTec device hooked up. Now in my office, it's running through Cat 5 to a switch to the and then to the modem. So in the living area, which I'm also going to show you, it's running through RG6 right to this device, and then from RG6 I'm using a Cat 8 cable and it's going right to my desktop. And you're going to see the dramatic improvement that I'm getting between the two. Let's go ahead and go to the office. All right guys, as you can see, I'm in my office now, and we're going to go ahead and go to the Comcast speed test website. Now in my office I have my desktop computer, which is the HP Pavilion 500 PC. Now this computer is on the little on the older side. I would say it's at least five years old or so, and it does not have the capability of doing gig speed. The Ethernet card is not a gig speed Ethernet card in here, but it does everything that I needed to do for email, for work, and then also your typical surfing the internet, Facebook, all that good stuff like that. But so I haven't upgraded the computer yet. The internet that I actually subscribe to is Xfinity Comcast, And I do subscribe to the gig speed internet, which I have other devices that can pull the gig speed. So let's go ahead and see what kind of speeds we get. All right, that's a good jump there. 630, 570, 558. So it looks like we're going to hold tight around 545 megabits per second. Let's see what kind of upload speeds we get. Looks like we're going to do our full capacity of 40 megabits per second, and this actually pinged to a server in Miami. I live about 50 minutes from Miami. It pinged at 18 milliseconds. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with that, you want your ping to be as low as possible. All right, guys, as you can see, I am running a splitter back here, and what that does is that from my smart home panel, it supplies the cable from a splitter there, and I'm coming in from the main line back there. I'm coming in and I'm splitting it off. Well, I'm splitting one going to my cable box, and the other one is going to the Ethernet expander device, which is the device that I have sitting right on top here. This is the ActionTec ECB6250. And as you can see, the cable comes in one end, and then there's a power cord and Ethernet cord that plugs into there, and then that runs right into my desktop, the same desktop that we did the speed test on earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the speed test back up, and we're going to see what kind of speeds we're pulling with this ActionTec device. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go here to Google, and then I'm going to go to that same Comcast speed test, and we're going to see what kind of speeds we're pulling down. If you can remember, we were pulling about 550, sometimes a little bit lower, maybe 525, something like that. So you can see right now we're well above what I was getting straight from the Ethernet from my router. Now we're going to go ahead and try that one more time. I was pulling speeds about 670 a little bit earlier today, but this is definitely much faster than my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi speeds that I pull were maybe 90s to 100s, 100 megabits per second. So as I mentioned before, the main reason that I purchased this device is so that I can rip my movies or back them up directly to my Zappiti. If you're looking for an easy way to expand your network, this ActionTec device actually works very, very well. I'm very impressed with it. When I'm identifying my titles on with the Zappiti, it's much faster than it was going through Wi-Fi. And on top of that, like I said, I can now send files and pull files directly from the Zappiti. Whatever is on that hard drive in that Zappiti that I have, it will actually pull and send files to the hard drives. That way I'm not docking them and undocking them, causing damage to the contacts. So guys, if you like videos like this, please be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Now, I also have my friend John Anthony. Go to his channel, Positron Hi-Fi. I'm going to leave a card to that up above. And then in the description, if you'd like to purchase this device, go ahead and click on the Amazon link below. We're going to go ahead and get that set up for you. And one other thing, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel. I do this for fun. But I also would like to have people watching the videos. So the more people, the merrier. If I can answer any questions for you, please don't be bashful. Go ahead and leave a comment below, and we'll see you in the next video.